वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेशमनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्य माव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियं येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः। मय्यार्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो युज्यते लोको लोकान्नो युज्यते जयः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगै मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्षः उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि na shojati na kangshati shubha-shubha-parityagi bhaktiman yah same priyah samaha shatrau ca mitre ca tatha manapamanayo shitoshna sukha-dukkeshu samaha sangha vivarjitah tulya ninda stutiramauni santushto yena kenachit aniketah sthiramatir bhaktiman me priyo nara ye tu dharamyamidamidam yathoktam payupasate shraddhana matparama bhaktastektiva me priyah Om Tassatiti Srimad Bhagavad Geeta Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Bhakti Yogo Nam Dwadashodhyayaha Harihi Om Tat Sat Harihi Om Tat Sat Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Paramastu Shubham Bhuyat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum
उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखार बिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्णा जी। जय श्री कृष्णा सर।
कैसे हैं आप?
बस कृपा है आपकी।
डॉक्टर प्रसाद जी, जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण एवरीबॉडी।
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्णा। जय गुरुदेव एवरीबॉडी।
जय श्री कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण। जय गुरुदेव। प्रवीण जी, प्रवीण दार जी, जय श्री कृष्ण। स्वागत आपका। जोशी जी भी आए हुए हैं।
जय श्री कृष्ण एवरीबॉडी। जय गुरुदेव।
तो हमें गीता किरण जी
नहीं, राखी थी।
हाँ न, स्वामी गीता किरण जी आ रही हैं।
She observing mom, Dr. Prasadji. So her assistant, good Yogi Amonji is conducting this.
Okay.
She might show up, but she will speak on June 3rd or June 4th. She's mom. Dr. Sahib, Kamlesh Pania ji is here.
Very
He
good.
has requested that I request you about analysis of Bhakti Yoga, all the verses before and after, including Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah, of course, Bhakti Yoga we always include in our talk.
Yeah.
But if you want to skip whatever we are going through and start Bhakti
No,
Yoga,
there's a separate session later on. Right now,
Yeah.
what you are doing is perfect, but he expected he had the same analysis for Bhakti Yoga only one time later.
आप बताइएगा जब से I will certainly do that. Bhakti Yoga तो हृदय है गीता का. It has to be all the time there.
All the
Without
time, all
without
the time.
bhakti you cannot move at all. Bhakti तो सबसे ऊपर है.
भक्ति के बिना शक्ति नहीं है.
कुछ भी नहीं है.
नहीं है भाई,
भक्ति तो
नहीं है. Bhakti is the ultimate.
we can analyze. Certainly it is wonderful to do that, and I appreciate very much.
He was so much impressed the way you analyze the verses, so he put the request to me to tell you, request you.
Why not? Why not? But question of time constraint, Joshi ji, it is a question of time constraint. If I have 1 hour, if I have 1 hour every day,
that you need that much. Yeah, yeah. आधे घंटे में भी काम नहीं होता भाई, पर क्या करें.
हाँ ठीक है, जैसे भी चलता है ठीक है.
और पिछू भाई साहब कैसे हो?
बिल्कुल बढ़िया, आनंद मंगल.
Better than yesterday?
Better than tomorrow. No, better than yesterday.
You don't want to be better than tomorrow.
Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. So
Jai
nice
Shri
to
Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Prasad ji, how are you?
Okay.
So nice to hear your talks.
प्रभु की कृपा है.
जय श्री कृष्ण कपूर साहेब.
जय श्री कृष्ण, जय गुरुदेव. कैसे
जय श्री कृष्ण कपूर जी.
प्रसाद जी, जय श्री नंदलानी जी साहब.
हाँ जी, जय श्री कृष्ण.
How are you? How are you? How are you,
Good.
Kapoor ji? Jai Shri Krishna. So nice to hear your talks. You really
गुरु जी
very
की
good.
कृपा है.
सही
प्रसाद
सही
जी, आप
बात है.
कैसे हो?
बस ठीक है, बहुत आनंद है, पूरा आनंद.
When will we have the privilege to see you in person?
आपके मन मंदिर में तो बसे हैं ना. झांक लीजिए.
Come to Chicago next month. Dr. Prasad will be there.
I am coming to Chicago. I shall be there from 24th to.
So with due respect, I just want to share with you very good news. Guru Maharaj is coming to our home on 2nd of June, and she will be departing on 6th of June. So we arranged a couple of parent meetings. One is in RES Lodge of Long Island, and I will share with you the pictures when it happens. So just
Lovely.
I am sharing with you. Yeah.
Lovely. बहुत बढ़िया.
Have you checked the last schedule? My Pradeep
हाँ जी.
that has been changed. There have been some changes.
Final program?
Yeah, when did you hear the last about Guru Maharaj's program?
I had a talk with her.
Okay.
Day before yesterday.
Oh, then you're the last one. Okay.
Yeah, she sent me the itinerary, and
Okay.
according to that, she should be in New York on 2nd.
Okay, lovely, very good.
And departing on 6th.
आज गुरु माँ का बर्थडे है, सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई हो.
आपको भी बधाई है.
Joshi ji, Amon ji is not here. Is he going to be logging in? Because he is the one who will play, right?
What happened? My sister is not there.
She is observing Mon.
Oh,
गुरु माँ का बर्थडे कल है।
हाँ, इंडिया
हाँ।
में आज है ना?
इंडिया में
इंडिया
आज
में-
रात को हो गया या यू राइट।
या इंडिया में तो हो गया। I think we are on the same planet.
इसका मतलब कि सालगिरह शुरू हो गई।
हाँ।
Yeah.
नहीं, मैं जैसे दुबई में हूँ तो इधर हो गया ना।
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। 26
When,
तारीख को।
on a quick note, when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, she came to New York, and one of the reporters from ABC asked her, Madam, what are your political views about the Middle East? She said, I don't understand your question. You call Middle East and we call it Middle West. So correct use.
Joshi ji, do you have any idea? Is Amon ji coming?
I have no idea. So let's give 4 more minutes, then we'll begin.
Okay.
Ramesh ji, Jai Shri Krishna.
Good morning, Ramesh ji.
जय श्री कृष्ण। जोशी जी कैसे हैं?
Jai Shri Krishna.
Very good, very very good.
वेरी नाइस, बहुत अच्छा लगता है सुन के। एक बार भगवान ने फिर मिलवाया है।
always.
आपको सुन के अच्छा लगता है, मुझे देख के अच्छा लगता है। दर्शन से।
यही प्यार है।
हाँ।
पीटर जी गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड मॉर्निंग।
जय श्री कृष्णा।
जय श्री कृष्ण। जय गुरुदेव।
मिस्टर कपूर जी कैसे हैं?
बस ठीक है रमेश जी, आप कैसे हो?
बहुत अच्छा, वेरी नाइस। आप
Your
सबकी
face,
आशीर्वाद।
your face is very graceful.
Yes, आवाज भी अच्छी है उनकी भाई।
सब गुरु गीता गोपाल बताइए।
That's
आज एक लाइन आई है मन में बताने की, बताऊं?
बता दो।
लाइन ये है कि हे प्रभु मैं संसार में रहूं। आप बोल सकते हैं मेरे साथ, हे प्रभु मैं संसार में रहूं
मैं संसार में रहूं
क्योंकि आपने मुझे भेजा है
क्योंकि आपने मुझे
भेजा है।
और मैं आज प्रभु आपसे हाथ जोड़कर विनती करता हूं, प्रार्थना करता हूं
और मैं आज प्रभु हाथ जोड़कर आपसे विनती करता हूँ, प्रार्थना करता हूँ।
प्रभु ये संसार मुझ में ना रहे।
प्रभु ये संसार
मुझ में ना रहे।
ये लाइन है।
क्या बात है।
मैं संसार में रहूं और ये संसार मुझ में ना रहे।
मैं संसार में हूँ और संसार मुझ में ना रहे।
इसकी गहराई में जाएंगे तो बहुत गहरी मीनिंग है कि मैं संसार में रहूं क्योंकि आपने मुझे भेजा है, लेकिन मैं संसार को देख के, क्योंकि संसार वैसे ही मिथ्या है, कुछ नहीं है, नाशवान है, तो नाशवार अंधेरे में हमको क्या मिलेगा?
प्रभु मिल जाएंगे भाई।
जब संसार मुझ में नहीं रहेगा तो सिर्फ बचे आप ही बचेंगे।
So Priji, I think you can initiate the beginning and then we'll start with Kapur Sahib, then we'll have more time with Dr. Prasad.
Yeah, I think so, because maybe something is Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत. Thank you for being with us tonight. Until Amonji comes, I would like to hand it over to Joshiji to please take it over. Joshiji, over to you.
Thank you so much, Priji. Guruma or Swami Geeta Kiran is also being mourned until the first week of June. And Amonji must have been busy, but since we have the connection and link, and we are very fortunate to have Kapur Sahib and Dr. Prasadji amongst us. So I want to request Kapur Sahib to please start the satsang, and Dr. Prasadji will have more time to analyze and will be very fortunate to listen to him as well. So Kapur Sahib, please take it from here. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Joshiji. Thank you, Peterji, and thank you, Prasadji, and all the respected Gita Bhaktas on this platform. Om Gita Shasnidham Punyam Ya Pathet Priyatapuman Vishnu Padam Bhapnoti Bhai Shokadi Bharjita Om Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudichyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vishishyate Om Shantakaran Bhujagasayanam Padmanabhan Suresham Vishwadharan Gagan Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantan Kamlanayanam Yogi Bhridhyan Gamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayharan Sarvalok Ekainathan Om Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanundara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mamaha Om Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshami Ma Shuchaha Om Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrahastam Michhami Tvam Drashtum Aham Tathaiva Teneva Rupena Chaturbhujena Sahasrabaho Ava Vishwamurte. By the invocation of the divine mantras from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we are seeking the mercy of the Almighty Bhagwan Shri Krishna for the world peace and peace within all of us. Today, I just want to share with you a couple of verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom hidden in that. The idea is, before I recite the profound verses that Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it was emanated from the lotus lips of Lord Krishna approximately 5,000 years before, according to time reckoning system of the world. But in Eastern time reckoning, this event happened many thousand years before. 3 chapters, schools of thoughts, 18 chapters, 700 verses. We all know that. Today we are talking that although we have been in the lap of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, why we are not getting the optimum level of wisdom? What is missing? What is missing? And it is a self-analysis. Everybody it's a challenge. We have to analyze ourselves. Am I getting the optimum wisdom out of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? One reason is, according to a research, broad-based research, that people who are involved in the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, they don't practice. They don't practice. We theoretically know many things, but we don't use the technique of Abhyas Yoga. And that is our fault. That is our fault. तो उसमें हमारी spiritual growth इतनी होती नहीं. Like we go to the ophthalmologist when we have a problem with the eyesight. And he detects कि भाई आपकी eyesight जो है वो 25, 28 है. और होनी 20 होनी चाहिए थी, लेकिन है नहीं. Then he recommends glasses of different lenses and other prescriptions. We have the same situation, spiritually talking. We have the spiritual cataract. We don't see. We don't see clearly. आँखें भी हैं, wisdom भी है, भगवत गीता की गोद में भी बैठे हुए हैं. लेकिन जो spiritual vision है, वो 20/20 नहीं है. वो कैटरैक्ट सिचुएशन में है. तो इस कैटरैक्ट को जो है रिमूव करना चाहिए थ्रू द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ अभ्यास योग. तो अभ्यास योग का मतलब है कि टेक only one thought and churn it, digest it, practice it for many years. तब उसका हमें बेनिफिट मिलता है. Otherwise, it doesn't go deeper. And until it touches the innermost corner of your heart, we are not the beneficiary. So simple. So it depends on all of us individually, how much practice I do, how much practice, like Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra, Sarvam Chami Pashyati. इसको हमने प्रैक्टिस में लाया है कि नहीं लाया? याद तो हो गया, श्लोक तो बड़ी अच्छी तरह हम बोलते हैं, याद है. बट इन डेली लाइफ डू वी प्रैक्टिस इट? हमें दिखाई देते हैं? नहीं दिखाई देते, क्योंकि हमने अभ्यास नहीं किया इस थॉट का, यो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र. तो उसके लिए जो है आपको अपने माइंड को एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट इज द स्टेट ऑफ माय माइंड. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम व्हाट आई थिंक, क्योंकि थिंकिंग के ऊपर है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी थिंक एंड देन वी एक्ट. People who do the other way around, they end up in the mental hospitals. So what do we think most of the time? And how much time we devote to the spiritual growth of my journey? Because that will decide, is it my top priority or just a hobby? So we should be very honest how much time I am investing in the practice of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This thought, Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra, सर्वाम चामी पश्य. अगर इस थॉट को लोग वर्ल्ड पीस की बातें तो करते हैं, बड़े बड़े सेमिनार्स होते हैं, बड़े बड़े विद्वान होते हैं यूएनओ में, बट दे आर ऑल पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट्स. दे डोंट हैव द इन डेप्थ जर्नी टू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर पीस रिजाइड्स. Peace resides in this concept, Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra. That is the key of the world peace. इतनी wisdom है भगवद गीता में. It is all universal. इसमें sectarian कुछ है ही नहीं. There's no boundary. There's no color creed. It is each and every thought has a universal applicability. And this is what you are looking for, world peace. हमने सोसाइटी को, इस देश, इस धरती को, ग्लोब तो एक है, इसके हमने मैन मेड 992 कंट्रीज बना दी है, फिर उनकी मिलिट्री है, फिर उनके बॉर्डर्स हैं, and then you have the audacity to talk world peace. It will not happen. यो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वाम चामि पश्यति. Obliterate these borders mentally. जो परिंदे हैं, जो पक्षी हैं, उनकी कोई बाउंड्री नहीं है, वो उड़ते हैं, हम नहीं उड़ सकते. थ्रू माइंड हमारी जो थॉट्स हैं वेरी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड हैं. वी आर कंपार्टमेंटलाइज्ड, वी आर इन द बॉक्सेस. Bhagavad Gita gives you the wisdom to come out of the box and think universally. One sun, one God. God's language is love. हमने 389 अपनी languages create कर ली हैं, and that is the problem. God's language nobody uses. Nobody uses God's language. And God's language, Bhagavad Gita says love. Love. That is why he is saying that I am seated in the heart of everybody. Because love is the personification of universal love. That is the heart where it resides. So I am just sharing with you that the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita is not an utopian idea. It is a practical wisdom, and it has to be practiced on a daily basis. Daily basis, small, जितने भी हम काम करते हैं उसमें ये wisdom लानी चाहिए. Wisdom लानी चाहिए. ये मेरी duty है. We are the ambassadors of this philosophy. And people, when they talk and have interaction with us, we should have the ability to create an aura and change that person. Your absence should be felt than in your presence. So this is the miracle of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and this everything can happen only through the periscope of this wisdom that Jo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chami Pashyati. उसमें सब कुछ छिपा हुआ है, लेकिन उसकी मुझे प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी, और प्रैक्टिस उसके टाइम लगाना पड़ेगा. Out of 24 hours, how much time I devote to practice this thought? हम भूल जाते हैं. हमने किसी को पूछो, वो कार से भी नहीं उतरता. कार में बैठा अगर कोई मंदिर आ गया तो वहीं उससे झुका देता, एंड वो समझता कि मैंने पूजा कर ली. They just bow their head. And most of the people who enter the temple, they are just doing the ritual. Their mind is somewhere else. किसी ने एक ब्लाइंड आदमी को पूछा कि भाई साहब, आप मंदिर में जाके क्या देखते हो? आपको उसको दिखाई नहीं देता? वो कहता आपकी बात तो सही, I cannot see, but God sees me. वो मुझे देखते हैं. इतनी बड़ी कन्विक्शन. और वो अगर ऐसा कोई बंदा है जो प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है, वो प्रभु का प्यारा है, वो जीरा है. हम मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वी आर जस्ट लिविंग. ये जीना नहीं है. जीना वही है, चाहे एक क्षण का हो. ईश्वर की स्तुति में जो टाइम बीता है, वो जीना है, उस अवेयरनेस के साथ, उस नॉलेज के साथ. सो going back to the same verse, Jo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chami Pashyati तस्या अहम ना प्रणश्यामी साचामी ना. वो मेरे से दूर नहीं है, मैं उससे दूर नहीं. वो मुझ में है, मैं उसमें. इतनी बड़ी डिवाइन वारंटी के होते हुए मैं इसको यूज नहीं करता. मैंने लॉकर में रखी हुई है ये विजडम. माय डेली रूटीन इज नॉट इन reconciliation or to this thought. So what I'm trying to share with utmost humility on this platform, that Bhagavad Gita is a practical science. It is a physics. इसको यूज करना है, इसको लॉकर में नहीं रखना है, और that use it must reflect in your action. और action means practice. Practice. जब हम ऐसा करेंगे, we will be creating a very profound aura of spirituality. जो उसमें आएगा आप उसको बता देंगे, क्योंकि आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो. अब देखो, ह्यूमन बॉडी इज ह्यूमन बॉडी. जो बच्चे ओलंपिक में जाते हैं, उनकी बॉडी कितनी फ्लेक्सिबल है, कितने वेटलेस हैं वो ऐसे तो हो नहीं गया. जब हम सोते हैं तो वो 20 घंटे एवरी डे दे आर प्रैक्टिसिंग. 5 years of rigorous practice, the final product is in the Olympic. So it is doable. We have to challenge ourselves. If we are not doing, we should start doing. But we must reflect. जो आपसे बात एक बार कर ले, उसको पता चल जाएगा ये बंदा जो है, ये गीता इसके अंदर से बोल रही है. और हमारे कई साथी बड़े बड़े अच्छे हैं, उन्होंने प्रैक्टिस की हुई है. So यो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वाम चामी पश्यति, कि मुझको सब में देखता है और सब को मुझ में देखता है. So it is one thought, flip coin. So let us challenge ourselves. I am just trying to restrict my presentation only on this particular thought. Focus it, challenge yourself. And you must produce the result with your own action, with your own अभ्यास. अभ्यास योग का जो है, उसकी प्रैक्टिस, अभ्यास योग की प्रैक्टिस करना, that is the coolest wisdom coming out of श्रीमद् भगवद गीता. बाकी योग भी ठीक है, ध्यान योग भी ठीक है, भक्ति योग भी ठीक है, लेकिन उन सब के लिए जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो अभ्यास योग है. भक्ति का तो पता चल गया, लेकिन प्रैक्टिस तो मैंने करनी है. अगर मैं प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर रहा, then it is a theory, and then I am not the beneficiary. Before the final exit from this platform, which is very short-lived, we are just the visitors. Nobody has a permanent residency here. We must make it sure. Am I changed? Did I change? Can I talk to Almighty Bhagwan Shri Krishna eye to eye? Your Excellency, I did that. That should be the state of mind, that it is now or never. We should do that. If we are not doing that, यो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र, सभी में ईश्वर को देखो, वो दिखाई तो देते नहीं है. हम तो मंदिरों में, गुरुद्वारों में ढूंढते हैं, वो आपके हृदय में है, वो भी नहीं दिखाई देते. हम शीशे के आगे खड़े होके अपने को देखते हैं, ईश्वर को तो देखते ही नहीं है. जो शीशा नहीं दिखाता वो ईश्वर है. तो शीशा तो किसी ने इन्वेंट कर दिया तो आप देख लेते हो. So these are the thoughts, fine-tuned thoughts. So just focus your mind and bring out the best and create a 2020 spiritual vision and see what you can see. And then you will say, Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chami Pashyati. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Back to Joshi ji and Peter.
Thank you so much, Narendra ji. Thank you. एक बार जब पता चल जाए भगवान सबके हृदय में है, सब भगवान के रूप हैं, Put Sri Krishna, Gurudev as an image on everyone that you meet and see. Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra will hold good. And the God within you will guide you and make you happier, spiritual, and closer to Him. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. At this time, I humbly request Professor Dr. Prasad ji, आप आधा घंटा है तो प्लीज चेक योर as much as you want. Today we
Thank you very much.
We are fortunate to hear more of you.
Thank you very much, Joshiji. Thank you very much. Oh, can I have the screen sharing?
Yeah, I think you can. Oh my goodness, he has disabled the screen.
नहीं होगा ना?
Yeah, he has disabled it.
Okay, then I will use my slide and.
So I
Yeah.
think you always wanted more time, and you have more time today.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Never
Yes.
Peter, do you know how to share the screen because he has disabled that?
It's all right. You will hear me. You will not may not see me, but you can hear me. Are you hearing me all right?
Oh yes, very well.
Okay, okay. Let me start. I start with the prayer to Lord Sri Krishna and Gurudev. Vansi vibhushita kara navnirdabhat pitambara dharunibimba phaladharosthat purnenu sundara mukhat Arvindanetra Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Jai Sri Krishna to everybody who's participating today on this satsang. You all know that we have been going through the Yajna segment of chapter 4. You also know that there are 12 Yajna Bhagwan has described in verses 24 to 30. The first 6 Yajna are for removal of our demerits. जो हमारे अवगुण है उसको हटाने के लिए भगवान ने ये पहले 6 यज्ञ की बात कही है. They are for चित्त शुद्धि. In verse 24, we dealt with Brahma Yajna, where you have reached the state when you are able to see Yo Mam Pasyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pasyati. Here you are seeing Sarvam Cha Mai Pasyati in all things. Brahmar Param Brahmavir Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam. In each and every article, you are seeing Brahma. Then we move to second verse, that is Deva Yajna, where Bhagavan told us that one has to get rid of your connection with the world outside. All the distractions are there in the world outside. We keep wandering in the world outside and forget about the inner sanctum, sanctorium within our heart where Bhagavan is residing. Then Bhagavan talked about Atma Samarpana Yajna, that is the surrender of ego to Bhagavan. Within you, you are sustained simply because you have ego. Once you give up the ego, then you are united with Brahma. So that ego, which is most precious thing for you, you surrender that at the feet of Bhagavan. Last week we talked about verse 26. where 2 verses were described. Are you able to see the slide, Joshi ji? Hello.
Yeah, we can see you and hear very well to you, but I don't see any slide.
Slide can't see, huh? That's a
Yeah, because
disaster.
they have disabled the screen sharing, and unless
Oh goodness, oh
they
goodness.
have somebody there, they have to give the control.
Anyway, we'll manage without that. Okay, I'm there. It's unfortunate. So much information there.
I
Anyway.
just sent a message to Vilayji in case he can read it, allow us to have this screen sharing, but I don't know.
Never mind. I will just continue. So, Bhagwan in verse 26, Bhagwan says, Srotraadinindriyanyanye Sanyamagnishu yujyati Shabdadin Vishayananya Indriyagnishu yujyati. Where Srotradin Indriyani, that means the sense organs, like the sense of hearing, you surrender that onto Sanyama, restraint. A restrainer within you, you should be able to deal with the sense objects. Then Bhagavan talks about the Sabdadin Vishayananya Indriyagnishu yujyati. That means Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, these are the sense objects. So you are able then to let that sense objects get dissolved in the senses. Indriyan indriyarthesu vartanta iti dharayan. Let the senses play with the sense objects, and you as individual do not get involved in the activities which is interplaying between the senses and the sense objects. So there are 2 things. One is the play of sense organ, and other is play of sense objects. That is the Vishaya and Indriyani. So the sense objects and sense organs, they are 2 things. So if the sense organs are involved in sense objects, fine, let they be involved in that. You do not get involved into it. And we talked about last time, Man hari mein or tan jagat mein. You have your mind should be the Brahma, and the body is involved in Jagat. And if the sense organs in the body is interplaying with the sense objects outside, you do not get disturbed. The whole idea is the mind should not be disturbed in any way. Once you have the impurities removed, then it is possible to let the mind, once the mind is pure, automatically there is reflection coming from the purity within you, the Atma, in enlightening that sense object, sense organs within you, and you get purified. Now, then we move, now today, I'm dealing with verse 27 of this verse. The 27th verse says, Sarvan indriyani karmani prana karmani chapare atma sanyama yogagnau Jujyate Jnanadipite. Apare means others. What they do? They offer Sarvanindriyani and Prana Karmani, all the activities of the sense organs and activities of Prana, that is the vital force. So there are 2 things. the sense activity of the sense organs and activity of the vital force. What they do? They yushyati atma sanyama yogagno, in the fire of atma sanyama. Atma sanyama is what? It is self-control. The control, you are able to dissolve the activities of sense organs and activities of prana into the fire of yoga of self-control. Now this self-control, Bhagavan says here, yushyati jnana dipite. It is lighted by the supreme knowledge. That knowledge or Atman, or the power of Atman, the consciousness within you is enlightening that self within there, and that is Antahkaran Sanyama Yagya. This Yagya is called Antahkaran Sanyama Yagya. We discussed about Antahkaran last time.
Hola y bienvenidos a Voces de México. Hola.
Last time some disturbance going on.
How to mute them now? Hello, somebody is talking, please be silent. Thank you.
So the last time we talked about Antahkaran, you remember? We had a lot of discussion about how we can allow the reflection from Brahma to shine upon the Antahkaran within, so that there is interface between the body and Atma. And in order for the power of Brahma within us to enlighten or enliven the body, there is need to have some interface, and that is provided by Antahkarana, which functions as a mirror. So the consciousness reflecting upon the mirror enliven the whole body, and that is Antahkarana Sanyama Yagya. So Bhagavan says here, Atma Sanyama Yogagno Yujyati Jnana Dipite, through the light of knowledge reflecting upon the Antahkarana, allowing it to create a situation on which the activities of sense organ and activities of prana, they get dissolved. So whatever sense organs are creating activities in the body, you do not, your Brahma within, don't get involved, don't get affected. So also the activities of prana. Now this prana has to be explained. I have a beautiful diagram here to show, but unfortunately it can't be reflected on to you. You can't, the slide. We have learned about prana before when we talked about kosa, the pancha kos, when we talked about the annamaya kos, pranamaya kos, jnanamaya kos, vijnanamaya kos, and anandamaya kos. That seeds, the pranamaya kosa is the vital air seeds. Now Bhagavan, when he talks about activities of prana, so see how beautifully all entire constituents of the body has been taken into consideration when you are talking about the activities of prana. The one word prana here, this encapsulates a lot of physiological functions which they are carrying on in the body. For example, when we talk of prana, it is associated with the breathing. When you take inspiration and expiration, when we all this, I will explain again next time. But let me just in short say that when you are having breathing, then there is this action of inhaling, exhaling, the breathing process is governed by a power which is prana. Prana is the power which gives activity to the to the breathing, that is respiratory function. The slowness of movement of air moving more or less, or regularly or irregularly, those all the functions in the body which are respiratory functions, these are all governed by one word called prana. Then there is an excretory function, the kidney and the gallbladder and all the excretions which takes place in the body, that is governed by what is called apan. There are 5 pran, you know, pran, apan, vyan, udan, and saman. Pran takes care of respiratory function. Apan takes care of excretory function. Vyan takes control of circulatory system, heart and blood pumping up and down, getting blood is coming to the heart and moving to the lung, and all those circulatory functions are regulated by Vyan. That is another prana. There is a Udan, it takes care of allergic reactions and adverse reaction, like sneezing, shedding of tears, burping, vomiting, and all these physiological functions which take place in the body. Udan takes care of. And the digestive function is taken care of by Saman. So when Bhagwan talks about prana, pran karmani chapra, sarva karma, sarvan indriyani karmani and prana karmani, these 2 functions, that is functions or activities of sense organs and activities of prana, which include all those, they are to havan karna hai usko, ahuti deni hai usko. So the oblations are the ahuti hai, wo activities of sense organ and pran, or agni kya hai? Self-control, yoga of self-control. And usse outcome kya hota hai? You get enlightenment. That is the stage when your antahkaran gets the power of Brahma directly enlivening the whole body, and you get relieved from the barrier which is body is providing. Now, this has been beautifully described in verse 55 of chapter 2, when Bhagwan says, Prajahati jada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tusta sthita pragyasya tadochate. When Bhagwan is talking about Sthita Pragya, Arjuna has asked the question about Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya sa ka bhasa samadhisthasya kesava isudih kim prabhaseta kimasita vrajeta kim. That is verse 54 of chapter 2. In 55, Bhagwan clearly describes and explicitly mentions there are 2 things happening. One is that you are allowing your man to be disturbed by kama. So when the desire from outside world going through the senses, sense organs, disturbing the mind, then you will not be able to have establishment in Brahma. You will not be established. You will not be Sthita Pragya. So what you do? Prajahati. You stop. You stop the waves of Kam, Sarvan Kam, not one Kam, entire, all Kamnas must be stopped. From where? Manogatan, to come inwards and disturb your mind. That is one thing. On the other hand, Atmanye Atmanatustaha, you allow your Jivatma to be one with Paramatma, or supreme consciousness. In conscious, you allow your consciousness within to be one with Supreme Consciousness, in that case, then you will be able to attain a status, what is called Sthita Pragya. You will be one with Brahma. You will get enlightenment. You will attain Samadhi. Samadhi, that's the case of you will attain Samadhi. So here Bhagavan in verse 27 clearly talking about how you are able to get your all activities of sense organ, all the activities of prana into the fire of yoga of self-control. Antahkaran ka संयम यज्ञ, अंतःकरण संयम यज्ञ के द्वारा इंद्रियों का और प्राण की एक्टिविटी जो है उसे आप डिस्टर्ब होने नहीं देंगे. In nutshell, Bhagavan is talking about not allowing the sense organs and the prana to disturb your mind. So the fundamental principle of mind getting disturbed and how to control the mind is again another very big science. And that science has been extensively discussed under what is called Patanjali Yoga Shastra. Patanjali has described sutra, and those sutra deal with how actually you should be able to control your mind. You remember Bhagavan has talked about Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balabhadridham tasya ham nigraham manye vayu rivasuduskaram. Arjuna, when Bhagavan told Arjuna about how to control your mind, how to tell how mind is essential part in the body, which is responsible for creating all kinds of nuisance within. And same mind on one hand can create nuisance, on the other hand, same mind can be used to have darshan of Bhagavan too. So it works both ways. But you have to clean up the mind. When Bhagavan talked about that, then Arjuna got a bit disturbed. He requested Bhagavan, he told Bhagavan his concern. He said to Bhagavan, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Oh Krishna, mind is very restless. Pramati, it is turbulent. Balabhadridham, balat means strong. Dridham, unyielding. Mind is restless, turbulent, strong, unyielding. The 4 qualifications Arjuna puts up before impressing upon Bhagavan. See, mind is so powerful, so running about here and there, doesn't stay at one place. So doesn't allow me to control it. It's turbulent, it's powerful, strong. Bhagavan says, Tasyaham nigraham. You tell me to nigrahaman. How can I nigraha? How can I control? How can I discipline? How can I restrain my mind? Oh, Bhagavan, I deem it difficult to control it. It is as difficult to control as it is difficult to control Vayu Duskar. It is Duskara. It is very difficult to control, as if the control powerful wind which is coming from in front or behind. So movement of wind is so powerful. As that is powerful, so is the power of mana, which is Chanchala, Pramati, Balabhadridham. What did Bhagavan reply? He says, Asansayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam avyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha grijyate. what Bhagavan says? Undoubtedly, asansayam. He immediately agrees to what Arjuna was saying. He says, Arjuna, yes, undoubtedly, Mahabaho, O mighty armed Arjun, Mano Durnigraham Chalam. Mind is difficult to control and it is chalam, it is restless, no doubt about it. But then, abhyase natu kaunteya vairagye nacha grijyate. Bhagavan, he talks about two methods. He talks about abhyasa. Our brother Narendra Kapoorji has been talking about abhyas, and he's stressing on this point, which is very, very important. Practice is the key word. Bhagavan had also mentioned. First, he talks about practice, and then he talks about dispassion, because practice is any and everybody can do, and dispassion is not for everybody to practice. It takes long practice to go to a stage that you get vairagya. You can get you can get over it and tyag. You cannot do this unless you have practice. So Bhagavan says, abhyase natu kaunteya vairagya. Through practice, the most important word here is practice. We have to practice and keep practice. Then man can be controlled, and it has been controlled by many saints and sages and Mahatmas. They know how to control it. In Bhagavad Gita, many methods have been prescribed by Bhagavan to how to practice. But the one Shastra which deals with this control of mind extensively is Patanjali Yoga Shastra. And Patanjali Yoga Shastra talks about this in tremendous detail. It talks about, let me take you through some of the aspects of Patanjali Yoga Shastra, and they will describe this in more detail next week. But here what I'm trying to explain, that when you hear the word abhyasa, it's right, quite right. But then one may ask, how to avoid? कैसे अभ्यास करें? क्या करें? केवल अभ्यास करने से तो नहीं होगा ना. आपने बता दिया कि आपको जाना है from one place to another place. आप चले जाइए. आप कह तो दिया कि यहाँ से आप सैन फ्रांसिस्को चले जाइए, लेकिन आपने बता चले जाइए, मैं जाऊं कैसे? How to go? आपने रास्ता बताया क्या? आपने कोई ऐसा उपाय बताया, so that we follow that and practice that. So there are ways and means of getting to the path of this practicing, or path of what is called yoga. That is the Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga. There are 8 limbs of practice which Patanjali describes. Essentially, the focus of Patanjali Yoga Shastra is to discipline the mind. The main principle there, that mind should be stable. There are 2 aspects. One is mind is impure, there is purity, and the other is mind is vikshepa, chanchala, and vikshepa, mala and vikshepa. There are 2 things which mind is associated with. One is that it is impure. There is a lot of impurity in it, so what's called mala. And the other is vikshepa, that is, doesn't stay stable, it runs away. It has got distractions all the time, getting distracted. So these 2 things have to be handled so that it remains calm. An example is given, we have talked about earlier also. Example is given of water in the lake. If the water in the lake is dirty, then you will not be able to see the coin which is lying at, or even in the tank, for example. A small tank, you have water. And if you put a coin at the bottom of it, if the water is dirty, you will not be able to see the coin there. And even if water is dirty, but it is moving all the time, then again, the coin will be not seen. So that coin is our Antahkarana. That coin is the one to which Bhagwan gets connected. That is the interface we talked about earlier. That coin in the heart within is you are not able to see simply because your man is chanchal. Man is also having mala and vikshep. So how to get over these two aspects of disturbance in mind has been mentioned in Patanjali Yoga Shastra in great detail. And there are 8 limbs of Patanjali Yoga Shastra, and they are called Ashtanga Yoga. And I will name them. They are Asana, Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So these are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali Yoga Shastra, and the practice of these will lead your mind to a stage where it becomes completely quietened down and no impurity, free from impurity, completely quietened down, and will allow to have darshan of Bhagwan in your heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivisto. He is established in our heart, and we are not able to see it. We run to the temples, we run to so many other places, we read Shastra, get all kinds of knowledge about Bhagwan, but Bhagwan, which is you, which is within you, you are not able to see simply because of the impurities, mal and vikshep, and through the practice of these 8 yoga, that yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. When you practice that, impurities will go away, and also it will be still and calm, allowing you to have darshan of Bhagwan. I think I will stop here, and I will request Joshi ji to further take up from here. Jai Sri Krishna, everybody. I'm sorry, the slide could not be put in there, but I will try to do it again next week. These are all.
I just see Geeta Kiran is connecting, but it's really too late. I see she's just trying to connect, but it's
Never mind.
And so we request her next Thursday to allow us to get to share the screen. Geeta Kiranji, we could not share the screen, but next time, please give us the permission to share. Anyway, Dr. Saab, thank you very, very much. So well described. Thanks to Prabhu Saab, your mom, for the service. Ultimate verse in Bhagavad.
Joshi ji, this is Amon Mishra. I'm so sorry. जी मैंने शेयरिंग स्क्रीन की ऑप्शन अभी ऑन की है क्योंकि मैं अभी ज्वाइन किया हूँ. I'm so sorry. Achan Vilai asked me to help her for a few weeks, but yesterday I texted her maybe too late, and she did not reply. I had run into some issue that I cannot join today, but so sorry.
So just allow us to share the screen because now we are concluding our session. But thank you for coming, and next Thursday, please let us share the screen because we need that. And thank you for coming, Amanji. Thank you very much. So thank you, all of you. Always love to listen anything that has to come from Bhagavad Gita. You put a bucket in the ocean of Mother Gita's water and you will come out with some kind of jewel that give you the light of life. No, talk any way, whichever way about Bhagavad Gita that invokes, kindles the divinity in us. So I really thank Narendra and Dr. Prasad from the core of my heart. You take so much of time to put that switch on towards the light of divinity from Bhagavad Gita. Thank you again, all of you. Please see you again
Jai
next
Shri
week.
Krishna. Jai Shri
Yes,
Krishna.
as usual, thanks to Peter Bhagwan, always he is the Thank you, everyone.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes.